Hello everyone, it's Golden Stardust. So this is the story I made. It's called Forbidden Adventure. It was inspired by an essay prompt I was writing, and I just got attached to the story. So that is that. So I apologize for any bad audio and background sound. My family is doing a bunch of stuff, and I'm not very used to recording with a microphone. So my apologies for that, but without further ado, let's get started. And Tommy and Tubbo, who are the main characters of the story, they're both about 12 in this AU. They will get older as the story continues, but that is their current age with the story. That is all. Alright, let's get started. Tommy was always known as that kid, the troublemaker, the problem child. Most adults would treat him like a baby. His best friend, Toby, was treated the same way. Although Tommy couldn't recall why, they had nothing in common. He knew that he was far more mature compared to Toby. While Toby liked bees, adventures, fighting, and building, Tommy liked pranking people, listening to music, causing trouble, and fighting. Well, there was one thing they had in common. They both liked to fight. Tommy was startled out of his daze. Yes, he said, trying to remember what was happening. He felt the eyes of the other students burning into him. I asked you a question, Mr. Brooks said, grinding his teeth. Geez, Tommy thought. This guy won't give me a break. Could you repeat it? Tommy said instead. Mr. Brooks sighed and pointed at the board. The question is, Mark has 42 apples. He gives them to 6 of his friends. How many apples do they each get? Mr. Brooks gave him a smug look. Clearly, he was thinking that Tommy didn't know. They each get 7 apples, Tommy said, looking directly into his teacher's eyes. Mr. Brooks' smug face started to disappear. Suddenly, it reappeared, fueled by a new idea on how to embarrass Tommy. Tommy, will you explain your reasoning? Mr. Brooks looked like he had won the battle of embarrassing Tommy. Calmly, Tommy said, if you have 42 apples and 6 friends, all you need to do is divide the both of them. You'll get 7, and... He made sure to have the "and" extremely bold sounding. To check your answer, we multiply 7 times 6, and we get 42. He mocked Mr. Brooks with the same smug look. Excellent, Mr. Brooks said coldly. His voice dripped like ice, giving him a glare. About 10 minutes later, the bell rang. School was over. About time, he thought. Toby said to meet him in the field next to the fence. Wonder what he wants to talk about. Toby had always been kind of strange. He was always hyper, and you could never tell what he was thinking or feeling just by looking at him. He hasn't been himself lately, Tommy thought quietly, packing up his belongings. I wonder what's up. A few moments later, Tommy walked through the golden field towards Toby. The air was warm and fresh. Like Tommy, Toby was still wearing his school uniform, a dark gray shirt with a black tie and pants. Toby didn't look up from his spot next to the old wood fence. Hey, Toby, Tommy said, greeting the boy. Hi, Tommy. Toby still didn't look up. You okay? Tommy spoke slowly, as if trying not to scare Toby. I was thinking, Tommy, do you want to leave? Tommy paused. Leave. Yeah, leave, Toby said. It's so boring here in the ruined city. I want to explore the woods, Toby said in a harsh whisper. Tommy paused again, deep in thought. Let's do it. Toby's face lit up. Okay, let's meet here at 11 tonight. Pack a backpack with food, water, and something personal. Tommy smiled at how Toby was acting himself again. Oh, and pack a bunch of clothes. All right, Tommy said, glad that his friend was acting himself again. Toby tackled him, giving him a hug. Tommy let out a laugh of joy as he was tackled. They laid down in the grass, side by side, laughing. Tommy checked the time. 10:30. He was all packed up. His parents wouldn't mind. They could barely support having him and his sister. And frankly, he thought she would have a very successful life. She's going to be one of the first female doctors in their city. He walked down the stairs towards the door, and then Tommy froze, and he slowly turned. He grabbed a bone out of his bag. His pet dog Artie took the bone and laid back down. Tommy let out a shaky breath. He turned and ran out the door to the field. Toby was already there waiting. Good, you're here, Toby said. His face lit up. Let's go, Tommy said. I don't think you're going anywhere. A voice called from behind them. Tommy froze, fear clenching his stomach. Summer, Toby squeaked. Oh, hello, Toby. Tommy. Tommy spun around. Summer was a few feet away. Summer had always been the teacher's pet, the one who always believed that breaking the rules meant serious punishment. She was called the Snitch. What do you want, Summer? Tommy snapped. It's past curfew, Summer said in a sing-song voice. You shouldn't be out here. What are you two doing? She let out an exaggerated gasp. Are you guys trying to leave? Tommy knew she was messing with them. This was her strategy. Use a sing-song voice to throw them off, then distract them and bolt a snitch. She threw something at them. Toby looked after it, but Tommy locked eyes with her. She paused, as if confused on why he didn't turn with his friend. She took off, and Tommy chased after her. He lunged and jumped at her. They hit the ground hard. Ow, Summer said, before she punched him out of anger. Tommy felt the blood drip from his nose, and a small pain came from his right hand. But still, he knew he couldn't fight her without making too much noise. He got up, turned around, and ran towards the fence. Let's go, he called to Toby. Together, they hopped the fence. Pine needles and branches snapped and scraped at their faces as they ran. Hours passed, and finally, they stopped and looked around. Where are we? Toby said, gasping for air. In the woods, I guess, Tommy said, staring at the woods around them. Let's keep going, Toby said after a minute. We don't want them to catch us. They walked for about an hour before finally stopping and sitting down. Let's sleep here, Tommy said, looking at his friend nervously. Toby was looking through his bag in a rather hurried way. What are you looking for? Tommy asked. Bandages, Toby said bluntly. Why? Tommy thought. Neither of us are hurt super bad. Tommy pulled out the bandages and grabbed at Tommy. What are you doing? Tommy said, pulling away. I don't know if you realized, but Summer cut your hand up pretty bad. It's been bleeding for a while now, Toby said, looking at him. Oh, Tommy said, giving Toby his hand and feeling quite embarrassed for his reaction. Once his hand was bandaged to Toby's satisfaction, they made a small fire and slept for the next few hours. Tommy woke up to Toby yelling. When he opened his eyes, he came face to face with a tall man wearing a beanie, standing over him. Gah! Tommy yelled, and the man backed up, looking apologetic. Who are you? What do you want from us? Tommy shouted. Geez, you can yell, the man said. I'm Wilbur. What are you kids doing all the way out here? Tommy was shaking with anger and fear. We should bring them back with us, another voice said. The other man had a deeper voice. I'm Techno, he said, looking at the both of them. Techno had a long, light pink braid and wore a crown on his head. He He had many scars on his face and some super broken looking glasses. Is he some sort of king or prince? Tommy thought, staring at the man. I'm Toby, and this is Tommy, Toby said in a nervous voice. Wilbur got up. You kids are coming with us, all right? We are not going back, Tommy snapped. Wilbur let out a short chuckle. Not back to where you boys are from. You're coming to our city. City? Tommy said, looking at Toby. Come on, let's get going, Wilbur said to them, hopping on a horse. Why are your ears pointy? Toby said in a small voice, pointing at Techno. The man snorted and climbed onto his horse. Tommy got on Wilbur's horse, and Techno dragged Toby onto his. They rode for a few more hours, with Wilbur trying to talk to them. Both Tommy and Toby stayed silent, trying to figure out what just happened. Eventually, they arrived in a long, grassy field. Mountains, lakes, and large hills surrounded the area. We're here, Wilbur said, looking at them both. Tommy looked up to see people running, people building, people talking, people being people. It was colorful, not gray and dark like the ruined city. People got to be themselves. They were all wearing brightly different colored clothes. Tommy felt out of place in his gray shirt. Let's get you two some new clothes. What are your favorite colors? Wilbur asked them. Toby replied first. I like green. Red, Tommy said, still not fully trusting him. A few minutes later, Tommy and Toby were both in different clothes. Tommy in a white t-shirt with red sleeves and Toby in a green flannel shirt. Where even are we? Tommy said, looking away from the mirror. Oh, Wilbur said slowly. Well, you're in the new lands. Both Tommy and Toby stopped. The new lands, Toby said softly. Yep. I thought that was just a legend, Tommy said. Some legends are true, Wilbur said with a shrug. I'm sure that you both will be a lot happier here. Thanks for helping us, Tommy said, looking at the ground and crossing his arms. Wilbur smiled. Don't worry about it. I can't wait to explore, Toby said happily. I'll show you both to your rooms, Wilbur said. They walked along the wood walkway toward the main building. Someone booked it past them, nearly knocking them over. Hey! Wilbur caught him. Calm down. Clay is always like that. Don't call me that, Wilbur, Clay shouted without looking back. Wilbur ignored his yell and kept walking. Not even a minute later, 2 other people ran past them. That's Nick and George, Wilbur said. 15 minutes later, Toby and Tommy were running around in a huge field on one of the hills that overlooked the lake. The sun was warm, but the breeze was cool. Soon, they both sat down and stared at the setting sun. We belong here, Tommy, Toby said, looking at him. This is where we belong. We'll defend it no matter what. It won't turn out like the ruined city, Tommy said in return. And stick together no matter what, Toby said. No matter what, Tommy said with a laugh. So yeah, that was part 1 of Forbidden Adventure. I really hope you guys liked this narrated series. This is not going to stop the My Hero Academia and MCYT series that I have. It's just another thing I wanted to do. So I really hope you guys enjoyed. So yeah, that was my first time reading out things out loud and stuff, like, for people to hear, besides in school, but people I don't really know. I truly hope you guys liked this. I am going to continue this, don't worry. It gets more and more eventful as time goes on, because I get more and more into it, and plus the after chapter 1, that's when I didn't have to, that was what the essay was. So yeah, that's all. Have a good day and night, guys. I love you guys. Bye.